Now, after this, in today's See the Story segment, we have an exciting topic lined up for you. The highly anticipated release of the Indonesian film Crocodile Tears. This film has been generating buzz since its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival 2024, where it captivated audiences with its unique storyline and compelling performances.
Sudah selesai, Johan.
Siapa namanya tadi?
Johan, Bang.
Kuliah kerja, Jo?
Kerja, Bang.
Di
Taman Buaya. Dulu katanya yang punya tempat itu pasangan suami istri. Terus suaminya hilang. Ada yang bilang suaminya dibunuh sama istrinya.
Johan, bangun. Kamu deket ya sama perempuan itu?
Enggak.
Kamu jago badminton tapi nggak jago bohong.
Aku nggak mau hidup sendirian terus seumur hidup.
Mama ini lagi ngelindungin kamu, nak.
Ngelindungin aku dari siapa?
Ya dari perempuan itulah, siapa-siapa lagi.
Arumi. Namanya Arumi, Bang.
Johan, kamu tuh mau punya anak gak sih? Bisa gila aku di tempat ini.
Tunggu.
Lepasin, Johan.
Tunggu. Tunggu.
Perempuan itu udah motorin kamu. Motorin keluarga kita.
In today's See the Stories, we'll talk about the highly anticipated release of the Indonesian film Crocodile Tears. Now, this film has been generating buzz since its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival 2024, where it captivated audiences with its unique storyline and compelling performances.
Right, so without further ado, we have with us in the studio the director of the film, Tumpal Tampubolon, the producer of the film, Mandy Marahimin, and also the lead actress, Marissa Anita, who's also a host here. It's lovely seeing you in the afternoon. Usually you're in the morning.
Yes,
but
thank you
now
so
you're-
much.
Yeah, now you're in the afternoon. To talk about this movie, which is really all. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
It garnered a lot of international interest. It was premiered in the Toronto International Film Festival, in the Busan International Film Festival in South Korea, the BFI London Film Festival, Adelaide Film Festival, and soon, hopefully it will premiere soon in Indonesia.
Yes.
Right, so this is great. That's a lot of, like literally around the world, international interest. All right, so before, just first of all, what is the movie about? We saw the trailer there, a lot of crocodiles, but a lot of dramatic sort of performances there as well.
So the film is about this family who live in a crocodile farm. So a mother and her son, Johan. She is very overprotective. It is her only son. So they live very, very close. And till one day, the son met this young woman and decided to have his own life with this girl. Of course, it's upset the mother, and from then on, everything spiraling into crazy stuff. will involve a lot of crocodiles and everything.
Crocodiles and overprotectiveness. I mean, I was just thinking about it when I was looking at the trailer, because this is a very, maybe Asian, also Indonesian thing, where the parents really like to get involved. Do not date that girl, do not marry that man or woman. I mean, was that like the intent to kind of show Indonesian Asian values to the international audience?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I also experienced. So, and a lot of friends that I discuss with, they also have this kind of experience. So I think it's quite interesting for me as a story. But
Yeah.
more of that, I just want to tell a story about people who try to find love and their place in this world.
I think a lot of people can relate to it. I can relate to it. Hi, Mom, I love you, but you know how you are. I love it. But if we're talking about this feature debut, you've been in the industry actually since a while back, since 2005. You can say that, right? But it finally happening, the big feature debut. Can you tell us about your journey?
Yeah, I mean, I have the idea of this film maybe around 7 years ago, and I mean, for so long, I think I make a living as a screenwriter.
Yeah.
So, but I also make a lot of short film.
Yeah.
Because I always think that someday I will direct my own first feature film. So,
Yeah.
7 years ago, I have this idea about something happening in a crocodile park, and it will involve family dynamics between mother and son, and that's where I met Mandy. Yeah. Of course, we didn't know that it will take us 7 years to make this film,
Yeah.
but at the time we don't have money and everything, but we have dreams. Both of us have dreams that okay, this is such an interesting story, so let's fight to the end to make this film. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, 7 years is a long time.
Yes.
I mean that why 7 years? Explain to us. And I believe this is also co-produced with, I think, 4 different countries.
With 3 different countries, so
Okay.
in a total it's 4 country production.
4 countries.
4 country production: Indonesia, France, Germany, and Singapore.
Okay. So I mean, was that difficult getting that collaboration with them, the co-producers? Like, what was that process like? 7 years. I mean, you must have been. You want to do this? You want to do this?
Yeah. Well, actually, the pandemic slows us down as well. But when we decided to make this film, we know that this film has to be made differently.
Okay.
Because we know this is not something that we can get, 10 million attendance.
Right.
So we have to mitigate the risk, and to do it, we have to co-produce and co-finance with other countries to lower the risk domestically. So the process was we first applied to Film Lab, where the project gets to be known by the international market, and then to a project market where we can find our co-producers. And so during those first few years, that was our aim, which is trying to find co-producers. And then after we secured our co-producers, only then can we apply for their country's government grant.
Right.
And then it takes us around 2 years to apply for grants before we finally secure the funding, and then we can start shooting.
Okay. That's wonderful.
Now let's talk about securing the actors. Before we talk about you and your character in the movie, why Marissa Anita?
Oh
for the
gosh,
lead
that's a loaded
actress?
question.
And how did you get her to do this movie, this film with you?
The casting process for this film is different.
Yeah.
I've never done it before. This is new. I don't know, Tumpal, have you done it before like this? The casting?
never.
It was so different.
Yeah.
So the casting process took us almost 2 years also,
Wow.
because it's not like we hire someone to call all the actors and then read their lines on camera and then we decide.
Yeah.
But first we try to brainstorm through films that we've watched. Who do we like? And then we reach out to that person, ask them to meet for coffee, and just talk as friends.
Yeah.
And if we think, I think this person might be interesting for the role, only then did we send the script.
Oh, okay.
So-
So to see if the vibe is there.
If the vibe is there, yeah.
Right.
So it's a slow process. So we send the script, we give them time to read the script, and then we meet again to talk about the film, try out a few scenes, and then we keep doing that with a lot of people. And during the last 6 months, I think, only then do we decide, okay, maybe we have now 2 candidates, 3 candidates for
Right.
the role, and
Yeah.
see the dynamics. I mean, we try to mix and match between them to see the dynamics and see which combination is the best one.
So in the course of 2 years, the actors like, did I get it? Am I in? Am I not?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I'll wait another like 8 months. 'Cause, okay. Don't worry, it'll be just another year before they call it. But like, I really love that because then you guys are really like passionate in making something that you want to make, other than okay, we want to sell tickets or will this appeal to the audience, but you would really want to make something that's great, like a great piece of art. Okay, so is that an actual crocodile farm?
Yeah.
And I mean, Marissa, like when you heard about that, actually, maybe we can start by when you got the script.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to it? Like, why were you drawn to it?
Oh, I was just drawn into the story.
Yeah.
I always love story that has very few characters, but very loaded, like emotionally, and also the relationship is really, really tight. So when I read it, I made a lot of notes. I was basically like, yep, I want to audition for this thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully I pass. And thankfully I passed.
After 2 years. After 2 years.
Yeah, after 1.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, and you were contacted 1.5 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I was completely mesmerized. But before the script, actually we had an email exchange because I remember Tumpal sent me a picture of a crocodile, mother crocodile, with a baby crocodile dangling off her jaw. And I thought that picture was just so striking.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's basically, the way I see it is about love. Whether, when you love someone, do you want to possess them, or do you want to let them go, or do you want to have something in between, right? And that is something that is super universal, because everyone, yes, we're talking about the context is in Asia, is in Indonesia,
Yeah.
but when we talk about love, it's super universal. And I am sure even in the West, some people have also experienced that. It's like, that tug of war between like possessing, and then, okay, maybe letting go. And that's why I was just like, okay, I'm sold. And working with the crocodiles, by the way, it's super safe because we had animal wrangler.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Rio on set as well. But yeah, they were just such magnificent creatures. Yeah. And actually the characters' behavior were inspired by the crocodiles as well.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, and like I really like the symbolism. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Crocodile Tears, the title comes because I think the crocodile, when it protects its child, puts him in the mouth, and when they put it in the mouth, they have tears. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're right. Yeah, a little bit, but when they eat, they cry.
When they eat, they cry. Oh, I see.
That's
Okay.
because of that, then the term crocodile tears.
And then another meaning in Indonesian, air mata buaya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is quite universal in.
Yeah, apparently
it's quite universal. We checked throughout the co-producer country. The meaning is the same. It's fake tears. So
Fake tears.
it's another layer. Because a lot of people will cry in this film, but you kind of like guess, this is real tears or not?
Okay, so maybe explain to the audience. Like I asked, is that a real crocodile farm? What is that location?
How did you find the
How did you
location?
find it?
Okay. So yeah, after I have the idea of the film, the first thing I do is to Google, is there a place, a crocodile park in nearby? Otherwise, I just forget the idea because it's impossible to make this film without that place. I Google and turns out it's just 2 hours away from where I live. So I went there, maybe it's 8 years ago. So there's a place there in Cikarang, Crocodile Park. It's quite run down when we went there, but it's very, very interesting place. It's just like another world for me. So, and there's a white crocodile also living there, which it has its own cage, so it's quite interesting. And I asked, what's the story about this place, and it's really inspired me to also help me to write this story, because I also incorporate a lot of stuff actually from my meeting with the people who live there, about the place, about the white crocodile, why is it there? And so I was very fortunate to find this place and to be able to have time to just do my own research and incorporate it into my story.
I see. So you went there, you saw the white crocodile, and you actually incorporated it in the storyline.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, Marissa, let's talk about the character itself. What does this character mean to you, and how do you build the characters that you have to portray in this film?
I think she portrays love. I know some people might disagree.
I mean, by looking at the trailer, I don't know if that's love. I mean, that's a mother's love.
But that's the interesting thing, right? I think, I like her.
Okay.
I like her, despite some people may find her like, really? Why would you like her? I mean, it's like, is she really that likable? So I guess that's a question that all the audience will have to answer. And how did we, how did I get into Mama, which is the character that I'm playing? I interact very intensively with Tumpal because he's the writer of the story. So usually the first thing that I do, because as you know, we're colleagues, I'm also a TV journalist, I just interview Tumpal.
Nice.
It's like, okay, who is Mama Tumpal?
It's like an interrogation.
It wasn't an interrogation.
So that was the preliminary method that I did with Tumpal. I just asked who is Mama, what's her background, what happened to her life. You know, it's just like trying to understand her background story because that really helped me to put the puzzles of Mama in my head. And then after that, and then my co-actors also came in, Yusuf Mardika and also Zulfa Maharani. And our interaction between the four of us intensively also helped us understand our characters better. I still remember when Mandy, again, I think this is probably a method that you had never done before, but you've done it with Crocodile. She rounded us up for 3 months where we worked intensively, me, Yusuf, and Zulfa, and Tumpal, to really read the script, dissect the script, and sometimes even there are some scenes that are added, there are some scenes that are deleted because there are 17 drafts of the script before it was finally shot.
Wow.
It was that organic, so it's
So
almost
you guys
like
kind of like collaborated
Yeah.
in a sense together.
yeah.
That's very cool.
So the characters were developed over time as well. And in the end, because of that prep, when we went on set, it was literally just like turning on the characters and we're there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Because, I mean, a lot of films, I mean, I don't know, I've never made a movie myself, but watching a lot of interviews with directors, it always seems like, okay, the director has a vision and follow or get out of the way. You know? But I love how this is like super collaboration, 7 years. But,
Yeah.
all right, so we're going to talk more about that, see the stories. We'll continue after break, so don't go anywhere.